On November 14, 2004, the Aegis radar system aboard the USS Princeton registered a kinematic anomaly. Suddenly, a single digital blip dropped from 80,000 feet down to sea level in less than a second. Commander David Fravor was sent to intercept the contact. He described finding a 40-foot white cylinder resembling a large Tic Tac, with no wings, no flight control surfaces, and no visible means of propulsion. The object executed instantaneous right-angle turns at hypersonic speeds. These maneuvers produced G-forces that would exceed the structural limits of any known airframe, yet the craft remained entirely intact. While the encounter is frequently cited as evidence of an extraterrestrial visit, a forensic audit of the timeline points toward a different origin. Leaked documentation and defense project configurations identify this craft as the CL-957, a Transmedium drone developed within unacknowledged special access programs. The 2004 encounter served as a live-fire performance test against the Navy's own strike group. The technical solutions for the Tic Tac's impossible flight path are found in the technical specifications publicly filed with the U.S. Patent Office. Dropping from the stratosphere to the ocean in under a second requires a deceleration exceeding 5,000 Gs. Under standard Newtonian mechanics, this kinetic stress should generate a massive thermal fireball and destroy the craft. This Navy presentation for patent 10,144,532 details the engineering fix. It describes a craft using an inertial mass reduction device designed to achieve a diminution in inertial mass by creating a polarized local vacuum energy state. The craft's seamless hull is a resonant cavity composed of a bismuth magnesium metamaterial. Internal emitters bombard this hull with ultra-high-frequency microwaves, forcing the entire structure to vibrate at the quantum level. This high-energy vibration polarizes the vacuum surrounding the craft. The resulting electromagnetic field repels atmospheric particles, effectively dropping the vehicle's inertial mass toward zero. Because the craft has mathematically isolated itself from its environment, the 5,000 Gs of force become irrelevant. It is not fighting against the atmosphere, it is moving within its own localized metric of spacetime. Military targeting pods showed the Tic Tac had no thermal exhaust plume and registered as colder than the surrounding air. If the craft were pumping out gigawatts of microwave energy to fly, its hull should have been glowing on infrared cameras. The CL-957 utilizes an endothermic skin that exploits the Seebeck effect. The nanostructured hull absorbs internal waste heat and converts that heat back into electricity to power the ship's systems. The craft essentially eats its own thermal signature. This physics package also enables transmedium travel. Commander Fravor observed the craft hovering over a patch of churning white water, a signature of the craft's interaction with the ocean surface. The drone uses directed microwave resonance to flash boil salt water milliseconds before the hull makes contact, allowing it to dive into the ocean without slowing down. This electromagnetic supercavitation creates a frictionless steam bubble around the craft. It can travel at hundreds of knots underwater while remaining acoustically silent and invisible to conventional sonar. During the 2004 incident, the Tic Tac vanished from sight and reappeared 60 miles away at the strike group's classified rally point, known as the CAP Point. This arrival suggests a direct electronic interception of the Navy's secure data environment. The CL-957 carries a miniaturized quantum computer designed to crack military encryption in real time. By intercepting the strike group's Link 16 network, the craft identified the destination coordinates and arrived ahead of the pilots. The demonstration proved that the Navy's most secure digital networks could be compromised by the drone's onboard processing suite. The Nimitz Encounter was an intentional demonstration of technical superiority orchestrated by black-budget engineers. The exercise confirmed that conventional fighter jets and kinetic weapon systems are effectively obsolete when faced with solid-state vacuum-polarized platforms. The intelligence community benefits from the public's focus on extraterrestrial theories, as it provides a convenient cover for the terrestrial technologies being tested in the field. The evidence points toward a strategic monopoly on the laws of thermodynamics, specifically the integration of mass reduction, endothermic metamaterials, and quantum-directed flight.
All right, let's just dive right into this. Today, we're unpacking an absolute cyber thriller of a dossier on the 2004 Nimitz Encounter. Now, for years, the whole Tic Tac story has been totally wrapped up in alien lore, right? But the source material we're looking at today strips all that away to reveal something honestly even wilder. We're talking heavily patented, highly classified terrestrial physics that might just explain the whole shebang.
Looking at the timeline here, 2004, the USS Nimitz tracks these anomalous targets. Then November 14th, Commander Fravor engages this 40-foot wingless cylinder over whitewater. Seconds later, the thing just instantaneously accelerates past the horizon. And then, minutes later, it magically reappears 60 miles away at Fravor's classified CAP Point. What's truly staggering is just how fast this chaos unfolded off the coast of San Diego, leaving elite Navy pilots completely baffled.
To make sense of all this, we're grounding our entire explainer in serious empirical forensic data. We're pulling from deep dive documents, like this analysis from the Scientific Coalition for Ufology, and pairing it with a really fascinating trail of US Navy patents that, well, perfectly mirror what this craft could do.
So that brings us to the core question of this whole thing. Based on the documents, what if the Nimitz pilots weren't looking at some visitor from Zeta Reticuli? What if they were actually unwittingly caught in a live fire test of a highly classified solid-state drone, something referred to in certain dossiers as the CL-957? Let's break down the quote-unquote impossible physics reported that day. First up, how exactly does a 40-foot cylinder fly with literally no wings, no jet exhaust, and no flight control surfaces?
Well, meet Dr. Salvatore Pais. He's an aerospace engineer who filed U.S. patent 10,144,532 B2 on behalf of the Secretary of the Navy. Guys, it is literally a patent for an inertial mass reduction device. The idea is, by spinning and vibrating electrically charged matter at extreme speeds, the craft generates immense electromagnetic fields to polarize the quantum vacuum. It's kind of like creating a slick, frictionless bubble around the ship, basically unplugging it from standard physical laws.
The stark difference between these two types of physics is just mind-bending. I mean, Newtonian flight is messy. It needs air for lift, fuel for thrust, and the pilot gets crushed by g-forces. But vacuum polarization? By creating that localized space-time void around the drone, black-budget engineers can completely bypass standard aerodynamics. The craft isn't really flying through the air. It's slipping through a self-generated void. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that number, 0. With zero inertial mass, the physical force, the g-force required to make those insane instantaneous right-angle turns, drops basically to 0. That explains how the Tic Tac could ping-pong across the sky without tearing its own internal components to shreds. It simply doesn't have the mass to generate destructive inertia. Okay, but that only solves one mystery. What about the thermal optics? If a machine is moving at hypersonic speeds through our atmosphere, friction should make it glow white-hot, right? So where is the massive thermal plume on the Navy's infrared cameras? Why did this thing look cold? The source dossiers point straight to advanced material science to answer this. It's all in the craft's skin. Utilizing something called the Seebeck effect, this nanostructured metamaterial skin acts like a high-tech thermal sponge. So instead of radiating heat, it actively eats its own heat signature. It operates as a massive endothermic heat sink. So rather than using clunky mechanical cooling fans or exhaust vents, this drone uses these patented metamaterials to literally swallow the immense heat generated by its internal microwave resonance, and then it immediately converts that thermal energy right back into battery power. It's the ultimate stealth. It renders the craft completely invisible to the world's most advanced thermal optics. And you know, the anomalies don't stop up in the sky. Commander Fravor saw the Tic Tac hovering right over churning white water, which immediately begs the question, how does a vehicle handle transmedium travel, moving from the thin atmosphere straight into the dense, crushing ocean at hypersonic speeds without shattering? According to the documents, the answer is electromagnetic supercavitation. The drone's entire hull essentially acts as a resonant microwave cavity. It pumps gigawatts of ultra-high-frequency microwaves outward, which flash boils the ocean milliseconds before the physical craft even touches the water. In practice, this looks completely surreal. As the CL-957 hits the saltwater at hypersonic speeds, that microwave resonance vaporizes the water instantly. By flying inside the self-generated superheated plasma and steam bubble, the drone simply parts the ocean fluidly. It experiences zero water resistance, which lets it dive straight into the Mariana Trench in total silence. But hey, physical maneuvering is only half the story here. This next bit is perhaps the most chilling part of the entire Nimitz encounter. After it vanished, the craft reappeared 60 miles away at Commander Fravor's Classified Combat Air Patrol, or CAP, point. How on earth could this craft possibly know a randomly generated, encrypted GPS coordinate known only to the carrier's Aegis computers?
The sources argue that the drone didn't just get lucky and guess the location. It executed a terrifying digital flex. Equipped with an onboard miniaturized quantum computer, it intercepted the Navy's heavily encrypted Link 16 transmission. By throwing the decryption into superposition, the AI cracked the absolute highest level of U.S. military encryption in a fraction of a second, downloaded the CAP coordinates, and just flew there to wait.
Now think about it. If you build a multi-billion-dollar drone with the processing power of a god, you have to protect it, right? To ensure their own invincible drone couldn't be hacked in return, the black-budget engineers tethered it to command using quantum key distribution, which is mathematically outlined in U.S. Patent 5307410. They use entangled photons to maintain this absolute zero-latency communication. And here is how they lock it down using the literal laws of the universe. In quantum physics, there's this thing called the observer effect, meaning you cannot look at a quantum particle without changing its state. So if a hacker tries to intercept the drone's telemetry, the very act of looking breaks the entanglement. The data instantly scrambles into useless static, and command knows immediately that the line was compromised. It is mathematically unhackable. When we take a step back and look at this comparison table, it's absolutely fascinating how perfectly the pieces align. Every single alien characteristic reported by the Nimitz pilots, the magic levitation, the lack of a thermal plume, the telepathic knowledge of the CAP point, the splashless water entry, it all maps one-to-one onto highly classified, heavily patented terrestrial material science and physics.
So according to the analysis in our source documents, the 2004 Nimitz encounter wasn't an alien visitation at all. It was merely a Gen 1 live-fire field test under a black-budget umbrella known as Project Orbit Lance, the operational deployment of the CL-957 solid-state Transmedium drone fleet. They were essentially testing an unkillable scout drone against the best radar and pilots the U.S. Navy had to offer.
And that leaves us with the stark reality presented by these researchers. To quote the dossiers directly, the Tic Tac is not a visitor from Zeta Reticuli. It is a drone built by Lockheed Martin, funded by the black budget, and tested on unwitting American soldiers. Commander Fravor didn't see an alien, he saw the most expensive, heavily patented piece of materials science in human history. Which leaves us with a truly mind-bending thought to wrap up today's explainer. If the ultimate transmedium technology, tech capable of manipulating space-time, perfectly absorbing heat, and effortlessly hacking quantum networks, if all that is already fully patented and quietly patrolling our oceans, are we looking in the wrong place when we search the stars for anomalies? Seriously, think about that the next time you hear a report of an impossible aircraft. What else might be hiding right now in the classified patent vaults?